Good morning, Tuesday, the 6th of August, and we're here to look at some astrology. I'm going to share the chart straight away, as I usually do. There we go. Yesterday, we talked about Virgo, the zodiac sign of Virgo, and some of the more esoteric meanings of Virgo. And also what happened yesterday, apart from the fact that the moon was just about to move into it. Mercury went retrograde, and I am so well, so wanting to talk to you about this because I absolutely do not sign up to all the horror stories online which talk about the deeply threatening time of Mercury retrograde when all manner of evil and harmful things can happen to you. Okay, so I'll just turn off the share in a second. I'll just show you this on the chart. So there we've got Mercury, and what happens as far as the solar fire package is concerned, this software, is when a planet goes retrograde or is about to look as if it's going backwards in the sky, we get a little R here. Looks like the R that doctors used to write on prescriptions many years ago when they wrote these things. You'll see we've got lots of little R's here as well. They're all going retrograde. Okay, so what will happen now is Mercury and Venus will get together because Mercury is going to be going that way and Venus is going that way. So they'll get together and then Mercury will go back into Leo. Okay, so stopping the share. And now I am going to talk to you about Mercury retrograde. If you've been following my work for a number of years, you know that I'm holding back on swearing because I get so fed up with some of the things that I read. Talk about sensational claptrap. It's I've heard people say that you shouldn't get in a car, you shouldn't make a journey, you shouldn't sign a contract, you shouldn't buy any equipment. And each time I go, what? This is just so ridiculous. I'm actually going to talk to you about what a retrograde planet really means. And at the end of the day, Mercury is a planet and it is going retrograde. It's going to follow the rules of all the other planets going retrograde. And it doesn't mean that this is a time when things can break down or let you down or go awry. I think for those to give some credence to those who think that it does, I think they just notice it more. I think things break down at the normal rate. And if they know that Mercury is retrograde, then they go, oh, it must be Mercury retrograde. Da 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 da. And if it what happens if it breaks down when Mercury is not retrograde? They just ignore it. They don't notice it. If you're really sensitized to something, then your belief will exaggerate it, your awareness and your belief. And we are actually, in this dimension, we're built on awareness and belief. This whole system is built on it. So it's quite an important and influential thing to believe something. So, and in fact, that's how readings work, actually, I'll tell you. So you can get a reading from anything: teacups, cards, animal liver, can you believe? Egg yolks, astrology. And depending on the quality of the reader and the system, yeah, you might get some guidance about a weather report for the future. But you know what really makes it come true? Your belief. So if you believe that, then your soul and your spirit are going to follow that path. And that has an influence over whether or not the outcome is what the reader said it was going to be. This is why if you do tarot cards, you can get a different reading 2 minutes later. What you need to do if you get a good reading with anybody in anything is don't have another one. Just wait until that one has worked out, because you could wreck it all. Anyway, there we go. So I digress. I'm supposed to be talking about Mercury retrograde. Here we go. Right. A planet going retrograde. So what is happening is, from our position on Earth, it looks as if a planet is taking a backward path and a forward path, because Earth is not at the center. The sun is at the center, and we're off to one side. Well, in fact, we're 3 planets away. So not being in the center, there's a different set of angles. And so that means when a planet between us and the sun, or a planet between us and outer space, is making a particular maneuver, we can be in the position on Earth where it looks as if it's traveling backwards for a certain amount of time. It isn't actually traveling backwards at all. But I just ignore that now. I just assume that you all know that. And so retrograde is when this is happening. Okay, now think about this, right? If we can predict, based on a planet being at so many degrees of something, okay, let's say 17 degrees of Leo. Okay. If that planet has reached 17 degrees of Leo, it's already come from 0 to 17, okay? And for the last week or so, it's been traveling up to 17. So it's been at 14, 15, 16, and 17. If each of those degrees has meaning and synchronicity with certain events in your life, all well and good. But think about this. What happens when that planet goes from 17 back down again? 16, 15, 14. What if you've got a natal planet, one in your horoscope, your birth chart, which is at 14 degrees of Leo? When the transiting planet goes back, it's going to go conjunct your natal planet again. That is going to give you the same reading as when it was there the first time. Now, maybe you can see where I'm coming from now. The planet that is going retrograde is going back over things it has already passed by, already experienced, right? So think about Mercury going retrograde. What is likely to happen is that whatever it meant going forward, it is going to redo those things again. They'll come up again. You're going to go over old ground. Make sense? It does, doesn't it? So you're going over old ground. So what can we do when we go over old ground? I mean, really have a think about this. Well, it's an excellent opportunity to examine something again. Ah, did I get it right? So let me say, for those of you that won't sign a contract when Mercury is retrograde, let me tell you that I want to sign a contract when Mercury is retrograde, because it means that I'm going over the contract again. I'm reading it again. I might notice something I didn't see the first time. I'm going to be more familiar with the territory, and therefore I'm going to be able to understand or dwell or peruse it better. I already am familiar with it, so I can go in a little deeper. I can notice a bit more. Okay, let's say that Mercury goes back to 12 degrees of Leo. This is all made up. And then from our position on Earth, it looks as if it's going forward again. So it's stationed, and now it looks as if it's going forward. What happens when it gets to 14 degrees of Leo? Again, for the third time. Well, think about it. It's just going over that same thing again. Now, this time, I think you know what you're doing. This time I think you've got experience. You know how to deal with it. And you get an opportunity, a rare opportunity, to redo it, put something right, assess it again. So what a brilliant time to sign a contract. What a brilliant time to buy a piece of tech, right? I want a new printer at the moment. Oh, buying printers is a nightmare. It has been for the last 20 years. I mean, we used to have printers that worked, and then marketing got a hold of it. Someone told the marketing department that the company was selling printers, and the marketing department got a hold of that and decided to try and make money out of the whole thing by closing down various things that we were happy to do with a printer, like print photographs, for instance. Anyway, so these days buying a printer is a minefield because you are trapped or can get caught out by having to buy really expensive color cartridges, color ink cartridges, when you thought the printer was cheap. Anyway, let's just say I want to buy a piece of tech and Mercury is retrograde and then going forward again. When I go back, sorry, onto Amazon again, and I look at those printers again, I will be more thoughtful. I'll be half briefed anyway. I'll have seen something that I thought was okay, but looking at it again, oh, I didn't see this particular thing, that the whole thing was going to tie me up to a cloud system. And we all know what happens when somebody tries to update a cloud system. It all crashes, remember? Microsoft 365. Anyway, so what I'm saying is I definitely want to buy my printer once Mercury has gone back, it's coming back again. Yeah, I'm waiting until then. And what about that contract? Yeah, blimey, I'll do it. And things breaking down. No, I don't get it. Why would they break down just because Mercury is going over a place it's been before and you're getting to look at something another time? You can see how frustrated I am, can't you? Can you feel my animation? Can you feel Mars moving through Gemini, animating everything? Anyway, do write your comments, please. I mean, if you totally disagree with me, then put, Alison, this time you're talking a load of poo. But bear it in mind, I mean, I remember I had a conversation about this with Sandy Sedgby, a friend of mine who is quite a well-known presenter. And she believes in it totally, and I don't. So we had this huge banter on this whole thing, and we finished up with her going, "Well, I think you're wrong," and I went, "Well, I think you're wrong." There we go. We just left it at that. But anyway, so I'm very happy to give you my side of the Mercury retrograde mythology. It's not right. And so let's see, who knows? Maybe my idea will take off. And the next time it happens, the whole world will be Mercury retrograde, load of rubbish. It's the best time to do things. And then I'll think, I started that. There we go. What an influence. Anyway, I'm going to shut up now. So Mercury retrograde, this is the time, dear people, to do everything that they say you shouldn't. If they say you shouldn't do it, mark my word, you should be doing it. Okay. I'm not sure if I'll get to do a video tomorrow. I'm helping a friend out. She's getting married, bless her, on a shoestring. And somebody's helping out, and so I'm helping with the food. I used to be a cook in a in a previous dimension, earlier in my life. I like getting my hand in now and again when I can, getting back in the kitchen. So I'm helping out with that. So if I'm up to my eyeballs in making quiches and flans and tortilla and all the rest of it, then I might not get around to a video. But anyway, I've enjoyed talking to you today. And if I don't get up to you with you tomorrow, I'm so sorry, but I promise I'll do it on Thursday. So I'll see you then. Right, so we've got here stop recording thing. I'm going to say goodbye before I press it this time. Okay, bye.